Courtney said, tell us your love story. I know it, but I know others would love to hear it. And how do you guys find time for each other with 4, soon 5 kids among homeschool, his working out of the home, and adoption craziness? Let's see. Cliff Notes version of our love story would be that we met when we were like 13-ish. We were in middle school, and he liked me, and I shoved him quickly into the friend category. But we ended up becoming really good friends and, like best friends for years. And when we were juniors in high school, he wrote me a letter and like confessed his love for me. And not gonna lie, initially I got like, hey buddy, can you close the door? I'm filming a video. So he confessed his love for me in this letter, and I initially was kind of mad at him. I felt like, why are you ruining our friendship? You're making this awkward, da, da, da. But after a few days of soul searching, if you will, as much as you can when you're like 17, I was like, oh, well, maybe I actually like him too. Maybe that's why I got mad. And then we started dating, and I would say the rest is history, but it's not, because we dated for a little while, and then after high school we broke up. He went down to California to go to college, and I came to North Carolina, and it was really, really hard to have a long distance relationship when you're 18. We ended up breaking up for about 3 years, and then he flew me out there to visit him over New Year's when he was a junior in college, and we had remained friends that whole time. He had talked to me through breakups with other guys I was dating. Like, we stayed friends. And then I flew out there to see him. And when we kind of were together again, we just both immediately knew that, like, yes, we were meant to be together, and this was the one, and all of that. So that was on New Year's. I came home, and in February he flew me back out again to visit and proposed to me at the airport in front of hundreds of people, people were like, say yes, and woo, and cheering and yelling and stuff. So it was an interesting experience. It was good, but yeah. So, and then we got married in August. So it was very quick. Once we got back together, we knew, and we got married. How do we find time for each other? We try to kind of do date nights at home. I mean, after we put the kids to bed, we'll watch a movie together, we'll play cards, drink coffee and chit chat, whatever that is. We try to do that kind of stuff together. And then every once in a while, we'll swap babysitting with my sister, and we'll have a date night. Like we did this weekend. We were able to go to dinner, and then we went bowling, just to kind of do something that we both think is fun and spend time together. And yeah, so I mean, it's not easy. I won't lie, it's not easy to find time. You don't get all those, like, at least for us anyways, we can't afford babysitting for 4 kids and to be gone and go to dinner. By the time you pay a babysitter, you can hardly pay for dinner after that. So we don't get a ton of alone time like that. So we try to make the most of the time that we have together at home. And then my kids know that, like, when my husband gets home from work, mommy and daddy get 15 minutes by ourselves to talk about the day and catch up and what's the plan and what, that kind of thing, just to kind of connect and chat with each other before the kids are jumping all over us and dinner and all that kind of stuff. Hallie said, do you plan to homeschool all the way through? At this point, I don't know. We have always kind of said that we take it every kid every year. At this point, we are happy with our homeschool. We're happy to continue doing it. That might change in a few years, but right now, we're happy with the way things are going. I would have no problem homeschooling all the way through, so we'll just have to see. Lily said, what do you do with your little ones while you're homeschooling your big ones? This behind me is our homeschool side of the room. This is like a big room. It's a finished-in garage. So this side is our homeschool side. Behind me, well, behind you, is the playroom side. And then we have like a big baby gate in between. So the boys will play over there. I'll give them coloring stuff. I'll give them blocks. I have some things that I keep on this side of the room that they're only allowed to play with and use while we're doing schoolwork. So some like educational type things and stuff that keep them busy and distracted while we're doing schoolwork. That doesn't always work, but it has been working pretty well for us so far. And then I do have like kind of a simple preschool type curriculum that I do with them that's just like playing kind of stuff. It's not easy. I will not lie. It is not easy to keep those boys out of trouble when we are trying to do schoolwork. And already once this week, my youngest like flooded the bathroom downstairs while we were doing schoolwork. So it's not always roses. What made you choose adoption, and how many kids do you plan to adopt? Jessica asks. Again, I just kind of always had it on my heart to adopt. So after we had the girls and we just kind of said, you know what, this feels like a good time. Maybe this is the time that we look into adoption. And as soon as we began looking into it, we knew right away we were absolutely going to do it. And then how many kids do we plan to adopt? I don't know. I once upon a time said, we're only going to have 4 kids. Okay, maybe 5. Okay. I feel like I've kind of gotten to a place where I have some peace with the notion that God has what he has for us. And I wouldn't change the blessings that he has given us for anything in the world. And our life is chaotic and crazy, and we don't get to, travel and do all the vacations and things that people with less kids can do. Our lives look different, but I'm okay with that. I love our kids. I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. And if God has more for us, then so be it. We will accept them happily. So I don't see myself having 12 kids. Now watch, like 10 years from now, I'm going to come back and watch this video and be like, remember when you said you weren't going to have 12 kids? I don't necessarily see myself having that big of a family. But, we're about to have 5, and, we just kind of take it a year at a time, a kid at a time. I don't know. I don't like to look too far into the future, especially when you're in the trenches with a bunch of little kids. That can be kind of scary, like, oh. But we will happily take whatever God gives us. April said, how did your birth children adjust to your first adoption? They actually did beautifully. They were 6 and 4 at the time. And they were so excited to have a new brother. And kids are so resilient, but also so very accepting. And they don't have the same walls built up that adults do. Like, one of the things I hear all the time is, I don't know that I could love an adopted child like I love my own. People say that all the time. And we know that is completely false and in no way true. But I get it. It's a legitimate fear for people. But kids are not like that. Like, my girls never said, well, I don't know if I can love my brother because he's not related to me by DNA. They never said that. He was just their brother. And they were so excited when he came home. And they've adjusted beautifully. They are so excited for Rosie to come home. I mean, they talk about her every day. They love saying her Chinese name. And they say, I hear them all the time in the other room saying her name in Chinese. So anyways, they have done wonderfully. We couldn't have asked, really for it to go any better or smoother. Top Nuts and Sippy Cups said, I found your channel from Shaylee and Baby. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? I've talked about this before. Initially, I started my channel as like a beauty channel where I was going to try to do like beauty tips and stuff for busy moms. But I found that I had much more to talk about than that and other things I wanted to share. And I found that people were interested in watching other things besides just that. So I started making videos about other things, and through you guys' feedback, I've been able to kind of figure out, hopefully, the kind of things you guys like to see. So it just kind of morphed from there. Letty327, thank you for your sweet comment. My eldest daughter, who is going into 4th grade, struggles a lot academically. My younger daughter is going into 1st grade as advanced. I've debated about keeping my eldest at home to homeschool, since I think it would work for her, but not sure what I should do about the younger one who thrives in school. She basically wants to know if I think she should split them or bring them both home. I see no problem with homeschooling some of your kids and sending some of them to public school. I think it's really important to do what is best for your children as individuals. I have a friend who does that. Her oldest daughter goes to public school and her younger daughter is homeschooled. And it just is what works for them. There's going to be issues, especially because in public school they're going to have parties and things like that maybe your daughter at home isn't getting. But there's ways around that, and there's ways to kind of compensate for those things on both sides. I just think it's really important to do what's best for your kids as individuals. So I wouldn't, if your younger daughter is thriving in public school, I wouldn't necessarily pull her out just because you're going to homeschool your older one. So I would just give it a whirl and see kind of how it goes. That's kind of my mantra with all things with homeschool. A lot of times it is trial and error. You just need to try it and see how it goes. Anna said, I know you were both homeschooled. Why and how did you deal with the transition? My husband was not homeschooled. He went through public school system all the way. I was homeschooled on and off. And honestly, the transition was fine for me. I mean, you're nervous on your first day of school anyways, but it really, I mean, like I said before, like kids are typically pretty resilient. So for us, it was just, we moved a lot as kids, like 15 times plus. So transition was just normal for us. So it wasn't really ever an issue. If you have a kid that struggles with transition, then yes, that might be challenging, but it wasn't for us. What's your best advice for a new to homeschooling mom or mom thinking about homeschooling? Well, I did a video, and I'll link those down below, about like 7 tips for new homeschoolers, which kind of covers my best advice for you if you're starting out at homeschooling, questions you might have, things I recommend doing and not doing. So I will link that video down below so I don't take up too much time in this one repeating myself. So I will link that down below. And then my last question, feel free not to answer if you think it's rude, but is your hair color natural? I've already answered that. It is not natural, and I don't think that's a rude question. That's just me though. Caitlin said, how did you and your husband meet? I've kind of talked about that already. What's your thoughts on homeschooling during the high school years? Talked about that already too. She said she likes the idea of homeschooling but doesn't want her kids to miss out on certain things like school dances, prom, football games. Basically, my 2 cents is, I think this all kind of depends. If you had a great high school experience, then I can totally see how you would be like, I wouldn't want my kids to miss out on that. Not that I had a bad high school experience, but I look back on it and I think, dear Lord, I wasted so much time stressing about stuff that just didn't matter at all. So I'm not really like crying any tears if my kids miss out on certain things. However, let me add, we have an amazing school here that is a university type school, so it allows you to pay per class, and they have full access to, so your kid could go there for 1 class and they have full access to everything. So the sports teams, if they want to do cheerleading, if they want to go to dances, they can do all that. So you can look into that, like a university style school, where if you just want to send your kid for 1 or 2 classes and then let them do all the extracurricular kind of stuff there too, that's an option, as well as homeschool groups, depending on where you live and how. We have a lot of homeschool groups and options here, and they do provide things like homeschool dances and stuff like that. So there are ways to get your kids involved in that stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to send them to your local public school in order for them to be able to do it. And Spellbinded 2004 said, please give a detailed video on your current homeschool curriculum. My father's world, thanks. Okay, so obviously I will do that in a separate video. I can talk about that. I did talk about it a little bit in my curriculum choices. I explained kind of, we hit pause on it last year and I kind of explained why, and we're picking it back up this year. So hopefully now that we're picking it back up, I'll be able to do a more in-depth video about that. And then Gracie Lou said, how did you know homeschooling was the right path for your family? Is something I'm currently debating for my own. I'd love some insight. So the theme of today's Q&A is lots of people on the fence about homeschooling and wanting some answers. And I think it's hard because I think we often look to other people to push us over the edge one way or another. But like I said, it's really very individual for your family, and there's no harm in trying it. If you really feel pulled to it, then try it. You can try it for 3 months, and if it's horrible, you can enroll your kids in public school. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that if it doesn't work for you, there's nothing that's tying you to it that says you have to do this, you must do this, you must continue for a certain amount of time. So again, I have some other videos. I will link those below that talk about like tips for homeschooling, or if you're interested in homeschooling, where to start. And that kind of helps walk you through like a pros and cons and help you kind of figure out, based on the questions that I pose to you, whether or not you think homeschooling might be a good fit for you or not a good fit for you. So I will link all of those videos down below so you guys can go check them out. I spent a good deal of time making those, so I don't want to fill this whole video with all that information that I've already put out there. So I will link those below. That covers everything you guys asked for the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to filming it, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon.